Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Discuss Impact. I'm your host, Jay, back again with the Horror King, Gary. It's just a nickname I gave him because he is a horrible co host. Just kidding, he's a horror movie guru and has his own YouTube channel. You can check that out in our description below. Now, this episode is brought to us and you by Impact Plus, ranked by many as number one in all of pro wrestling apps, even ahead of the incredible WWE Network. Gary, why exactly is Impact Plus so damn incredible?
Well, it's just the ease of it to start off with. It's the ease of using it. The graphics look very sharp and crisp. It's a very easy app. You have access to some of the best indie promotions that a lot of people probably do not know that are out there.
I also didn't know there's a lot of free stuff on there.
Oh, is there? I haven't really checked the app out. You can also visit the Asylum years if you want to go back to, make a good time of year to go back to visit that, especially with it being the 20th anniversary for TNA/Impact.
All that, monthly specials, and more. Check it out. Impact Plus. Okay, now it's time we're going to throw some quick grades out there for people who don't like listening to long podcasts, kind of like myself. No offense to us. But, okay, here's mine. And I take this very seriously. I kind of did it in the past, but this time I do. 8.4. What do you got, Gary?
This week's Impact, I would probably give it all of it, at least an 8.1 or 8.2.
Okay, so combined, it's about an 8.3, I believe, if my math is correctly. Now, we are going to talk about a new thing, which is our MVP of the episode. And this week's first ever MVP of the episode is PCO, who had another really fun match. He was throwing himself around like a lunatic, pretty much. I mean, that's like his thing. But he got a shady loss against Macklin. I don't know if he hurt his shoulder in some kind of way. Gary will get into that. It looked to be badly injured, but he didn't sell it because he's a goddamn monster. It has been recorded. He's okay, so great news. I love everything about PCO. I love his look, his character, his moves. I noticed this. 2 characters on the entire show had their names chanted. One was PCO and the other was Rosemary. It's weird, but like if you pay attention these days, not many people actually chant for the wrestlers' names. Like some you'll hear like the company or say like Impact or On No More, stuff like that. Not really the wrestlers though, and PCO does so. It's awesome to see. I'm not the only one who sees how special these two are. And Gary, what do you got on PCO since you were a big Ring of Honor fan?
I mean, the man's incredible. I mean, the things he does with his body is just insane. I noticed last night on the broadcast the last couple of weeks, some of the people in the crowd are starting to chant that old Abyss chant where they say, "Go Abyss, go."
Oh,
That's
really?
what they were doing that in the background, but they were doing it to PCO.
Okay, I missed that.
I did notice, it brought kind of like goosebumps for me because I remember that chant back in the very early days when they were in the Impact Zone in Orlando. I did notice PCO did hurt the shoulder, I believe, on the set of steps. I think that's when
Okay,
I noticed.
you're right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when he did that crazy dive into the steps.
Yeah, and I have noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this too, but like at the tapings lately, we've been using a different set of steps. Like the more solid, but they're smaller. But we've been using a lot of the smaller sets of steps. I guess it's because of the size of the venue. But
Right.
yeah,
I never noticed things like that.
Yeah.
Little tidbit there that I would never have noticed. Now it's time for Impact News Blast. This is very recent. Mickie James was just announced as the special enforcer for the Queen of the Mountain match at Slammiversary. Wrestling TV ratings. Impact landed in the top 150 once again, so they've been consistent. This week, the viewership was 121,000, up from 116, with the demo staying at 0.3. Numbers are courtesy of Showbuzz Daily. I wasn't. What was going on last night? Thursday night, Gary. Any competition?
Yeah, very hotly contested series between the Rangers and Lightning, wasn't it?
Oh,
Same exact time and everything.
Oh, my Rangers game. Yeah. my painful Rangers game.
Well, and I think what makes it tough there too is that was such a tight game. I even watched. I chimed in on it on ESPN website, and I noticed it was like back and forth, and Impact had to go up against that kind of sporting event too.
It was either like 0-0, 1-0. It was a really close game. So
yeah, it's like trading goals, and then they reverse roles or something. It's kind of like my Reds game earlier that day.
So again, hell of a job by them, and keeping consistent going against these bigger events. Also just announced, Impact will be part of WrestleCade 2022 weekend. Thanks to one of the best Impact fans out there, Kester, for pointing that out to me right before we recorded. Also got to give a quick shout out to my pal Hellcat. So WrestleCade takes place November 26th, Winston-Salem. Ticket information will be coming soon. Check out Impact Wrestling for all that and more. This week's opening had Cross the Line, which I forget who called this. I don't know if it was you or maybe a few people.
No, okay. I think you would address me in a prior podcast that you had heard that's what they were going with.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I heard that, but I don't know. Whatever, it was Cross the Line, and I mean, who doesn't love that? So, awesome start to the show. Sammy comes back at the beginning. Great seeing Sammy back. One thing they've announced a Monsters Ball match, last piece of kind of news there, which should be awesome, between him and Moose. The only thing I don't like is the lights on and off thing with him, but I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't really work with Sammy.
Like, he doesn't need it, I don't think.
Yeah, that, and I don't really think he's like he's not like Undertaker, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see I just don't see like the persona that matches for such a thing, to go on in the show.
I mean, I get like the hacker thing, but whatever.
Yeah,
he doesn't need it. They're both awesome. Now, just the first match to start the show, God, I had such a smile on my face. Rosemary, one of my favorites, and before I forget, there were two people who had their names chanted. Rosemary was the other one. Only people on the show. You can all watch it again. Let me know if I'm wrong. And again, it doesn't happen often. Like, a lot of the wrestlers, it's a weird thing. I noticed like a while ago how people don't chant wrestlers' names these days. But so Rosemary versus one half of the Knockouts Tag Champs and possibly the greatest Instagram account owner ever, Tennille Dashwood. This was a damn good match. I was surprised. I think this was maybe Tennille's best match on Impact. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say it was definitely good. Like a back and forth contest. I do know they both wrestlers got their maneuvers in, and I don't know. I just felt like the crowd was into it more than say past Tennille matches. It might have been a lot to do with Rosemary though, so I don't really know if that's what the deal was, but it was definitely a good way to kick off the Impact. To get the fans into it.
I think it definitely was. I don't know, maybe some people just work well together, and that might have been it. But yeah, I mean, the crowd was insane for Rosemary. And then at the end,
and I did notice Rosemary looked a little bit more limber than she's looked too.
Yeah, definitely. I have a little note here: Rosemary's best match in a long time, I think, actually. So yeah, that's great news. If Rosemary's getting healthier, I mean, I kind of thought it was like a long-term thing that she would never really get healthy from again, but yeah, she definitely looked better in that match than I've seen. Awesome to see. And then Taya comes out at the end to save her after she got the win, and the heels kind of beat her down a little. Taya makes the save. I love it. This is just like, it goes back how many years now? The stuff between Rosemary and Taya.
I don't know how long it's been. I think it's been longer than it seems for me. It just seems like that's the way they're going to go. I honestly see them going with the tag team championship with Taya and Rosemary against. I'm blanking on the name of the tag team.
I was going to say the Inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I get kind of mixed up because the teams were similar, but you know who I mean. Tennille
Dashwood and Madison Rayne.
Yeah, Madison Rayne.
The Influence.
Yeah, that's it. I think that was with me. Their names are so similar.
What was the ROH group's name? The women's group.
What was her name?
Well, whatever. But I'm getting.
Yeah,
I thought I was getting confused with the Influence. But yeah, no, it's the Influence, and I love it. I mean, I think I could be wrong about this, but I pretty sure Taya left like right before they announced the Knockouts tag titles, or maybe like right around the time, because I remember people were like, "Oh man, it would be perfect for Taya and Rosemary," but it wasn't able to come to fruition. Okay, and got mail. What? You hear that?
Yeah.
That was weird. Okay, oh, it's the mailbag. Okay, guys, almost forgot. We got 2 mailbag questions this week. First one. Whoops, sorry. My bad. I don't know what's going on with that. Hey guys, it's Matt from the Heelcast. Absolutely love the show and hoping I can get some free promotion for our big return from fellow Impact fans. First off, hell yeah, Matty. If you didn't know, fans out there, the Heelcast is a podcast that used to be about Impact until they kind of jumped on the AEW trend and hoped for money and whatever else, and now they're going back to Impact. So best of luck, guys. That's all I got to say for that. And there's your free promotion, totally free. I'm sure Gary's got nothing on that one, but he will have on this one. Gary, this is from Frank in Middletown. You're easily Jay's best co-host. What do you think will be the 2 mystery guys at Slammiversary versus Honor No More?
I'm gonna go with the tried and true and the nostalgia factor here. I noticed James Storm hasn't really commented or anything. He's kind of been like kind of dead air on it all. And then I thought it was kind of interesting. We got the Wildcat Chris Harris to pop up, kind of like a tease. I can honestly see it being AMW showing up for the originals.
Okay, that probably does make the most sense.
Just
yeah,
you know,
I was thinking
Cowboy.
I keep thinking Daniels, but like Kazarian's already there, so like it's got to be somebody. You know what I mean? Like your team idea works.
I was kind of hoping it might be Jonathan Grisham as well, but he's not an original. That's the thing that kind of puts up.
Something. I mean, are these guys all legit originals, like day one?
Yeah, they can be any one time in history. I guess TNA / NWA or whatever that we were called, NWA TNA at one point.
Right. Well, I'm not sure this is possible, but God, I mean, they did have Mickey at the Rumble. Can we maybe get Bobby Roode once for one show? Bobby Roode and Storm. I mean, I think that would be perfect.
It's very possible. I too think we could possibly see a Nick Aldis appearance too. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I would not be a huge fan of that, but I mean,
no, I wouldn't either.
Kind of a name and married to Mickey, who we just had that news on before.
Oh, with it being Nashville, I mean, Billy.
Yeah, plus that too.
Oregon, and
I mean, he's still a name and whatever, if you can get something out of him, why not? Now, Good Brothers at the Briscoes Farm. This was one of my highlights of the show, and it's crazy how I've just flipped on the Good Brothers in like 2 weeks. Like when they used to come on, like sometimes I would just, I don't want to say flip the channel, but like my brain would kind of shut off. Like I hated when they did that preacher thing. They did it. It didn't last long, but to me that was painful. Like my God. And now they're killing it. Like I don't know, like they're being total assholes, but like not not over the top ridiculous characters, like just themselves as assholes.
Yeah, I love the stuff with the Briscoes, because this takes me back to the ROH times too as well. They did many skits at their farm in Sandy Fork by God, Delaware. Okay. And with their father, they called the Big Man. It's just it just was a breath of fresh air to see. It kind of took me back to the one episode where it was Mickey and Deanna on the farm. Remember?
Oh yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. But I loved it.
And that truly is their father, by the way. This was actor.
This was a goddamn blast. I love that it was their father, and he's been invited. I didn't know they've done this before with Ring of Honor, so using the farm. So that means that's like another place they can use if they keep the Briscoes around, which God, I hope they do. Yeah, I mean, I loved everything about this. I mean, it was funny. The brawl was great. I'm really excited about this match at Slammiversary. Then we got Heath backstage. Says Rhino needs surgery. He is super pissed off and looking to take out Honor No More. And that is right before the PCO versus Macklin match. Pretty much talked about PCO enough since named him the MVP here. So Macklin, I pretty much said the same thing about the Good Brothers, but he was kind of like, I didn't like him originally when he came in, but he's just been killing it. This was a really good big man match. What'd you think?
Oh, but with Macklin?
Macklin PCO.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were going there or you were talking about Doring and Alexander, because you said two big men.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
yeah.
We kind of had two big men matches.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I kind of labeled in the thumbnail for tomorrow or tonight when you put it up. It called it the Big Haas match with Alexander because he's a big dude too. I think it's unnoticed that he's really big. But getting back to what you had asked me, yeah, the match was. I mean, had me cringing. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while since Impact's done that kind of thing. It's probably middle to early part of when Abyss used to do things. Like what got me hooked on Impact back in the day.
Yeah.
I got a lot of vibes of that era of Impact. Just seeing all the everything breaking down in the ring and like them taking it out to the crowd. I mean, I missed that part.
Yeah, I can't say enough about PCO. God, we keep getting these mail things. Sorry, we don't have time right now, mailbox. So Macklin ends up using a chair and then hit his finisher with the chair. Needed to take PCO out with all those different ways, even with an injured shoulder or whatever at the time. And so he got the win. But then PCO kind of came right back and grabbed his leg and he ran away, I believe. So then Deanna backstage with Tasha, with Knockouts champion Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans. I kind of missed what this was about.
I know. I think Tasha had approached Deanna. I don't know if she was calling her out on some shady things that happened the week before. And then who came along? Somebody came along. I can't remember that part.
Who the hell's Tasha feuding with? Blanking on that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, she's kind of been naming this one and that one. You know what I mean? It's uncharacteristic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got it. It's
champion.
Oh, God. Really? Who just came back to Impact recently in the Knockouts division? That's who it is. Oh, God. No, another. Cannot believe I'm blanking on her name. Jade.
Oh yeah, Mia Yim. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, she was originally Jade. Yeah. So, okay, I'm pretty sure it's about that. They're both kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with me, it's weird because like she's the champion. It's supposed to be where the challengers are chasing they're chasing the champion. It's kind of like reversing the tables here a little bit. The champion's pursuing whoever's hungry.
Yeah. Kind of an interesting, different thing they got going there. So I like it. Tasha, great champ. Always nice seeing Deanna. And I like that she's kind of been off TV for a little.
Definitely.
I think she's fantastic. But I mean, like, you bring her back, like, it'll be a bigger deal now. Like, whenever, like, she sets on her, whatever she sets her sights on. So Matt Morgan returns. And more importantly for me, Vincent got some time.
Oh, yeah. I
Were you a Morgan fan?
Honestly, I was not. I never bought the hype. I actually got to meet the man in person, and he was very rude and smuggish.
I was just gonna say, I bet he was a good dude. Damn, so
no, totally he's not. He really is. He wasn't at this event. I don't know if he'd been overworked that week or what.
It's possible. Yeah.
He signed this. He signed his name twice on one shirt.
Well,
he didn't even pay attention that it was the same shirt I had handed him.
You can cut the shirt in half and sell it as two different autographs.
I was like, wow. I mean, I would have thought. Of other people I met that day, I met Gail Kim. She was great. Rockstar Spud was my favorite. Was a favorite personality I met that day.
Interesting. Gail, I was going to say, Gail's another one. Seems like a nice person for real.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we have a world champion Josh Alexander in a non-title match, which you were just mentioning, against Big Joe with Dina and EY. Thought it was funny. EY was just like basically screaming the entire match on the outside.
Well, I like how much Dina is like. I know a lot of people complain about his like demeanor with the way he acts with VBD, kind of overselling his expression, but I actually love it because he actually looks like he's having fun.
And I mean, you got to do that kind of thing to stand out. Like, what's he
Oh
going to
yeah,
stand
and I
around
mean
doing?
he
Stand around
looks
doing
like
nothing.
right at home when he's in there with the Briscoe.
Yeah, and he's kind of in a tough spot. With I mean, you got Joe Doring, who's a goddamn giant. Then you got
Oh,
EY, who's like not even just like a great wrestler, but he's also like a psycho screaming on the outside. He's like a great character. So you know what I mean? Like Diener has to find a way to stand out a bit in between all that. So yeah, nice job by him. Josh, holy shit, I couldn't believe he hit a German suplex on Joe, who I'm pretty sure is growing still at whatever age he is.
oh yeah, that was a solid match throughout. I mean, like I like the way the end was though because it still makes Joe Doring look strong. You know, or I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Alexander looks strong, and
Mm-hmm.
Joe Doring doesn't actually eat the pin. Where he's your big monster of the group, and I hate Impact's done that in the past, kind of like with your factions like Aces and Eights. They build them up, and then you got like Sting that's taken out like a group of like 8 guys, and it's just not very believable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
I like what
And
they're doing with them.
sorry, right before we move on, did we not have an Impact Fan of the Week?
Oh yeah, we do. I don't know if people on YouTube know who he is too well. He does have a horror channel. His name's Tim. He goes under the name Horror DVD Devil, and he has his own channel. He does reviews, movie hauls, different things like that. He has a birthday coming up on the 15th, and he turns 24. So if you know Tim, shout him out. A happy birthday when you see him.
Very cool. Happy birthday, Tim! Next week, happy early birthday, and yeah, check out his channel, Twitter, whatever else.
And if
That's
we
it.
didn't mention it too, Deanna had a birthday. If we didn't mention that,
Oh, was that today?
yeah.
Damn, missed that.
So
A
happy
lot of
birthday,
news.
Virtuosa.
Yeah, a lot of news today. Happy birthday, Deanna! And so we got Moose and Gia backstage. Again, good stuff from Moose, but the stupid lights I didn't like, and you already
I
talked
didn't like
about
the
that.
locked door stuff. I didn't really
Yeah.
get what they were.
Yeah. Oh, that was when they brawled a little after with the.
Yeah.
Again, it's just like I don't know. I don't think it's not needed. Just let them fight and like you know what I mean. Let them
Yeah,
brawl.
let them
Like
open the doors. Let them use all the rooms.
yeah, it's
you
very.
know,
I don't know. It's
boiler
very.
room, kind of like Mankind kind of stuff.
Like I don't think there's anyone out there who's like, oh man, the lights went out, awesome. But maybe there is. Maybe let me know if the comment if you're one of those fans. So then we got footage from H. Austin joining the Bullet Club from New Japan Wrestling. Now I have no idea about this, but I'm curious. Like when will this air on the New Japan show that airs after Impact?
Yeah, I don't know. The weird thing is with the New Japan show that follows Impact. Sometimes they do these things where like their tapings are like from like 2 or 3 months ago. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. That's what they used to do. I don't know if that's what they currently do, but
Yeah, I haven't watched
maybe they got their it all up to Impact's storyline where they kind of just like maybe that'll be their crossover to try and get appeal for New Japan and Impact together. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Blood Rain would probably know more than anybody.
Yep, definitely. And I should have asked him before we recorded. So, yeah, I mean, that was cool to see, just seeing, the New Japan footage. And I thought it was funny how the announcer said, oh, he's already got custom cards made. Like, he was so pissed off that he had like, the Bullet Club cards with Ace Austin on it. So that was funny stuff. And then they announced Alex Zane as the final entrant for the Ultimate X match.
Who that was? I thought it was, but I can't. I get his name mixed up with the other dude that we have that comes in. He challenged Kenny King. I get their names mixed up.
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got like two.
Their names are too similar.
Yeah, they got like 2 guys who kind of pop in every now and then. And they kind of come in randomly like that.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, Zane.
I gotta get better with that.
But Zane is a goddamn blast. He will be incredible in this match. Oh man, Zane and just everyone. I was gonna say, Jesus, I'm gonna keep blanking on everyone's names. Everyone in that match is just Jesus Christ. It's gonna be an incredible match. Like that's one of the.
Who was the? Do you know who the really big dude was? He looked like he was like a Samoan.
Wait, when was this?
Oh, with the New Japan footage, they showed this really big dude. He almost looked like the Barbarian.
As part of the
part of Bullet Club.
Bullet Club.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
I have no idea who he is.
not Hikuleo?
No, this was a less slender guy, and he's kind of like a stout size.
Oh, I did see that guy, and I don't know who he is. So let us know in the comments about that. Okay. Well, I do have a question for you here. Do you like when they go back to feuds like Moose and Sammy, or do you think it's like too much? Also, like say Moose and Eddie, for example.
Well, it depends on if the chemistry's there. Those two feuds are kind of. I think that's good that they revisit it, but like I said, I still have a problem with them not bringing in enough main eventers. I feel like it kind of makes it thin after a while. I think some fans might tune out on Impact because it's just Moose and Sammy fighting again. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I'm worried about. It's kind of like you go to that.
There's a lot.
Time too many.
There's a lot to blame, and I think Tony Khan is near the top of that list. But I mean,
I definitely think that doesn't help.
But I mean, look at Morrissey, for example. Like they made him a main event guy.
Oh yeah.
And now he's gone. So like I understand like their whatever the word is.
The mainstays. You want to go with who's loyal.
Yeah,
who doesn't care about the mighty dollar so much.
And that's one of those things. Like everyone thinks they know. Like we have no idea. You know what I mean? Like as fans, like the things like who has these, like whose contract is like 6 months between who is like years. Like I'm sure. I mean, like Eddie Edwards, for example. Like he's always got to be like in the main event top guy kind of scene because he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, having your own
hopefully
freedom and creative. People laugh at me when I say that. They'll say, well, what's better than a check? And it's like, yeah, but you're being really shallow thinking that all these wrestlers worry about paychecks.
I'm actually interested in how many do and how many actually love wrestling.
That's what I mean. I think you have to like the work environment, who's steering the ship at these promotions.
Took about a great segue. Man, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers had a segment. Matt Cardona recently mentioned he would go back to WWE as Zack Ryder. Did you happen to see that?
Oh, I didn't see him say. He said he's going to go back as Zack Ryder.
No, he said he would. Like,
he would.
If WWE wanted him to return, he's like, yeah, I would go back as I'd even play Zack Ryder again. So I mean, like we were just talking,
I must
not to invest in certain characters. Yeah. I mean, that was just a news story that popped up. But I mean, like that goes to like what we were just saying, like how you got to be careful who you invest in. Like they invested in Cardona for a bit, and look at him. He's like, oh, I'll leave it. Like he's got the 10 pounds of gold right now, and this dude's like, I'll go right back to Vince whenever he calls.
Yeah, my only problem with this segment is it's kind of confusing. It might confuse a casual fan because like 1 minute you're saying Rich Swann is the media champion, and then you're saying, Cardona is, but he technically ain't, and he's giving the title over to was it Killer Brooks back in the day in NWA, like way long time ago. Just handed the belt to, was it Larry Zbyszko? Said,
oh yeah, okay.
Here you go, take the title.
That's a bit too far back. That's a bit too far back for me, but
well, that's what he did. That storyline so far is kind of paying off like that.
I mean, I think what makes it even more confusing is the fact that title was won on an independent show, right?
Yeah.
So now it's kind of looking like, does that matter? Like
no, not really, because like with Moose, they did that same thing. Remember when he attacked Josh Alexander and then his wife again, like back at the pay-per-view before he became the champion?
Mm-hmm.
He showed up at the indie show and then he speared him or her. I can't remember which.
Yeah, it's interesting how these, like, I don't know, maybe it's not as connected as we think, or I don't know, whatever. Maybe something's with Cardona, and I am happy with the final outcome being Brian Myers has the belt instead of Matt Cardona. I think Myers is a billion times, more interesting and whatever else.
Well, the thing is, like, you showed me that article in a messenger. You said Cardona's thinking about going back to the WWE.
Oh yeah, that whole thing we just talked about, yeah. So that's why, I mean,
yeah.
Maybe they just that's like a known thing, and they're like, all right, whatever, let's just give it to what's his name in case this dude does leave soon.
I couldn't go back there with the way. I mean, they were having him lose to guys that were like legends that they were like 60 years old. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I guess I do respect, like, he went out there and busted his balls for like what, a year or 2 years, whatever it was, like
Yeah,
to
yeah.
build
It's good that
himself
he
back
got
up.
away from the big scene, but I just kind of feel like sometimes people use Impact for like a quick paycheck.
Stepping stone.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I
I
hate
kind
that.
of feel like he's been more like doing more for GCW than he's been doing for Impact. To be honest with you.
Yeah, or he did. I don't think he's champ there anymore. That company's kind of dead. I don't know if anyone cares, but you should look into the COVID thing with their owner. Pretty shady. But still not done with this show. We got a main event. Great, very long. Well, not say very long, but pretty long main event. I don't know exactly how long it was. I usually bitch about long matches, but I think Impact nails it because they're so seldom. Like, it makes it seem like a big deal.
Oh
Instead
yeah.
of AEW, where 20-minute matches is the norm.
Well, all the team does, the both sides got their, they all got a good amount of offense in throughout. Like, I thought it was pretty evenly matched. Like, for everything that Chris Sabin did, Matt Taven would do, that much more, and it was a really good, 3-on-3.
Yeah. So in case you missed it, this was the
Very pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah, this was the Motor City Machine Guns and Kaz. Always awesome to see all three of those guys. I mean, Sabin, I think we're what's the word? We get, well, whatever the word is. Sabin is so goddamn awesome. It's kind of like, unnoticeable. Like, he's so quietly awesome, and he's like he's always there, and it's like he never has a match that isn't great. Like, everything he does is great.
Well, with Kaz, I've always liked him, but I always felt like he was not like my least favorite in the X division, but to me, I always like guys like Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels. I always liked all of those guys better than him for some reason. I don't know if it's just because of his demeanor. I don't know. Look very approachable to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I think it's more about like his size for me.
Is that what it is? I'm not knocking on him. I think he's a damn good wrestler, but I will give him credit. He has stayed in really great shape.
I think he's just a much better tag team guy than, like, for me, he's a tag team guy, not an X guy.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, I don't know. I could never really pinpoint why.
I mean, that's how I see it. Kind of like,
like measure to what I expect of the X division, I guess. I mean, he has some great moves. I don't know. I was always more like a Jay Lethal or.
I mean, look at the X division right now. I think they're nailing it. Like, everyone in the X division is like totally X division. Like, that match they have at Slammiversary, like, holy shit. Like, that's like such a goddamn X division match with those guys,
Well, the best X division match that I remember was what was it? Was it Jack Evans, Loki, Austin Aries? Oh, it was like a slew of other guys. It had to have been like the 6-way. Mm-hmm. Kind of like what they're doing that at Slammiversary too, right?
Slammiversary is the Ultimate X with Ace.
Yeah, I think they did something similar to that, but that's probably one of my favorite matches of all time for the X division. I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but it was like about a good decade ago or so.
I just had to pull it up fast. Okay. Ace Austin, the champion, will defend against Kenny King versus Mike Bailey versus Trey Miguel versus Jack Evans versus Alex Zane. Like, to me, every one of those guys is X division,
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like 2 or 3 years ago, when it was under, like, when Billy Corgan was about to take it over, I mean, we had guys like Pepper Parks.
Yeah, I hate giving him shit, but to me, he's the great example of like a solid wrestler.
Big tall dude too. That's an NWA. Blanking on his name too. You guys might know who I'm talking about. Kind of a Billy Corgan guy.
Well, Pepper Parks is a.
Yeah,
I got him blanking on his name now. What's his the Blade? He's currently the Blade in AEW. Braxton Sutter. Got it.
Sutter. Well,
to me, he's
his indie name. I'm used to seeing that name with him because I used to go to like the 2 CW shows that were on the indie scene.
Like, to me, he's a very solid to good wrestler, but just not X Division.
Oh, Marche Rocket.
Oh yeah, again, yeah. Like, some guys just aren't X Division, but I think they're totally nailing it now. And whatever, maybe they didn't have enough
Yeah,
guys.
he looks very out of shape in NWA.
Couldn't find him, whatever else. But right now, I mean, goddamn, those guys! I cannot wait for that match. That could be one of the best X matches ever. And yeah, we got everything on the. Okay, sorry, I had one little note here. The only downside to the main event was, where the hell was Maria?
Oh yeah, I know that. I didn't even notice that. So you just mentioned that. It was like weird because I don't know if that's, maybe she was doing some events that at that point. Maybe
was she not at these tapings at all?
I
could have sworn I saw them, but you know,
that's kind of strange that she didn't show up at least ringside.
Yeah, who knows? She might have.
Maybe she was doing more of that promotion that she was talking about doing, maybe, or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, maybe she wasn't at these tapings doing something else. Who knows? But always nice to see Maria around. And yeah, I think we hit on everything.
Yeah, it was a really good show. We've got one more set of tapings in Kissimmee, and then we got Slammiversary, and then the Fallout the next night.
Do we have any more shows on? Oh wait, sorry. Any more shows from the last set of tapings?
Oh, yeah, we got one more leading into Slammiversary. Let's not forget too that at 7:30 on the 19th, a half hour before the actual pay-per-view, on an Impact Plus and YouTube, you can watch a half hour live and free of the pay-per-view.
Very cool. Make sure you do that, wrestling fans.
But don't fret. Make sure to keep in mind the cards are subject to change. So that's happened the last two live events, I think, where we've had a match scheduled and then they flip-flop a few people around.
Yeah, goddamn COVID and whatever else.
Yeah.
It's life. What can you do? I know what you can do. Tune back in next week. We will be here every Friday, or maybe sometimes Saturday or a Sunday, reviewing Impact whenever there's a Impact Wrestling TV show. And I don't think we've done oh yeah, we did one special together. And obviously the big time specials like Slammiversary coming up. And that's it for this week.
Take care, everybody. Have a good Friday.
Peace out.